Hello. This is a big chunky book here. The girl with the mega fists. Fists. It says fists right there. See? Fists. 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 Which she's got. I gotta admit, I didn't really know what I was gonna be in for with this book. Because I backed the book because it looked cool, and then I proceeded to not read anything else about the book, even on the campaign page. All I knew is there was a girl. She had mega fists. Oh, I'm sorry, fists. Anyway, everything by Tyler right there. His YouTube channel is Draw and Talking. Go check him out if you want. Sometimes he's got some good stuff to say, like many people. Now, looking on the back here, very promising. Mild fantasy violence, action, and mild blood. I don't know necessarily that this book fits into like the superhero genre like it says on the back, but whatever. We're not going to quibble. So when I first got the book and I unpacked it, like, I don't know, what was that, like a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that, I opened it up to violence. And you know what? This book delivers upon violence a lot. In fact, going through this book, I only have like two complaints, and we'll get to those later. But there's so much I like just from the here's crazy hyper violence. Here's crazy hyper violence. Let's flip ahead to. Okay, I had to flip a little further than I thought. Crazy hyper violence. Like, we're just absolutely chock full of people beating each other up. And it's a lot of fun because of that. The book doesn't really stop. The book is just like, yo, here's people punching people with mind strikes or air strikes or sonic strikes or whatever. Like, I don't even know what these powers, like these people's powers are. They just go and they just like explode. Like this dude here is like some shape shifting demon dude who's looking like one of her best friends when he first shows up, and he's totally murdering this guy who's hanging on the side of the cliff because he just got like exploded off of the side of this floating island a minute ago. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I want you to know, I'm here for it. We're gonna actually jump to the end because I'm gonna take a quibble with the like mild, uh, like blood and violence. Like this poor dude here. I don't think that that counts as mild anything, dude. He's just gotten impaled by like tentacle swords like 27 times, which follows up on him getting exploded by giant tentacles. Like, look at this. Why? Nobody knows, but it's pretty cool. So the premise of the story, let's step back, is there's these two groups of like good gods, the mega gods and the almighty gods or something like that, and they're fighting like a fallen angel Baal, which is suspiciously like Baal. I don't know why he just didn't make that, but whatever. And so like every 30 years they send two heroes down to Earth to go fight the monsters. And so one side always sends a girl, the other side always sends a boy. But the side that sends the boy ended up with twins. That's like right at the beginning of the book. When we're all feeling like very confused about what's going on in the world, we get them. And so we kind of set up like, I don't know if it's really like a love triangle, but kind of like a love triangle. God, this is a shonen manga. That's all it is. We've got a lot of people that are hot blooded. We're going through like a lot of shonen manga stuff. So we've got like two boys and one girl. If you've ever read, seen a lot of shonen manga, like, oh, I don't know, Naruto, like you've seen that kind of dynamic before, even if they don't end up with each other, or even as love interests, like they form that little trio, you know, at the core of the story. And that's kind of what's going on here. There's this one bit here, like here's the bad guy, like he's looking too cool on his evil throne right there, and we open up with just a whole gobsmacking explanation of the cosmology behind this universe, which is fine and all, but it made those first couple pages kind of like chunky to get through until we got to like page 5 or whatever this is, and some dudes are getting like their heads exploded by a guy punching him with the mega fists, which are the magical artifact that the one lineage of gods like pass their powers down. Like, I get it, it's cool, I like it. They're pretty mega right there. You see them? They're fists and they're mega. Anytime this book is doing a cool big action scene, it's pretty cool. It looks cool. It flows well, and it's a lot of fun. Just kind of look at, to kind of go through, work with, and like just engage, like just experience it and enjoy it. Sometimes we get like a lot of drama stuff, and I feel like the book kind of takes a hit. Like this is necessary, like to show why people are doing the things they're doing and all that kind of stuff. But it's where the book is at its weakest. I didn't find too much of the discussion like super compelling, or maybe it's just because I kind of had a pretty strong idea of how the interactions between the characters would go after the first couple chapters, and I kind of like got all of it, except for like the twist right at the end. I didn't know who was going to be the one doing the thing because we hadn't really known that particular group of characters for very long. So like the two dudes who ended up in a fight, I couldn't have really like predicted that one because we just didn't know these people. But the stuff between Ileana and the two brothers, uh, and this whatever his name is, like I was kind of like, yeah, I knew how that would all go down. Which isn't to say it's bad. It was just kind of predictable. Oh, one thing. Shoot, I'll never find it. That's not the example I wanted. Uh, well, we can use that. Oh, actually, let's just use this one right here. One thing that Tyler gets really, really right is he knows when to go completely off of style for like emotional or spectacular or dramatic effect. So, a lot of times in the book, people look very, serious, straightforward. Everybody's always got the same angly faces and stuff that they always do. But every now and then, he's just like, boom, here's this thing. And it's kind of charming to step outside of the boundaries, the norm. I was trying to combine those two words, which was not a good idea, and show something just completely, absolutely ridiculous. It's one thing that Mirka Andolfo does very well. It's something that a lot of manga creators do, and they use it to great effect because you can have like your normal style and everything looks good, and then you drop that in, and it's just like boom, look how over the top or crazy or ridiculous this particular situation is, and it provides a very strong effect, whether it's used humorously or used for dramatic purposes to show how serious something is. It's very effective, and Tyler did that really well in here. All told, this book was actually a really quick read. I tore through this thing. I didn't put it down. I didn't take a break. I just like consumed. I just chewed upon it until it was all gone. And I would say that maybe we're a little more above mild blood here. Like we got dudes getting like impaled and heads being exploded. So on the other hand, we're not really like showing like somebody being vivisected or whatever in the book. So maybe mild is appropriate. But I had a pretty good time reading this. This is a lot of chunky pages, like any good manga type book does. It provides you a lot of page content and a lot of value for your money. So, pretty good stuff. I had a blast. I'm trying to think if there's any last minute things I want to point out with the book. Oh, yeah, I guess there is one thing. We'll get to the two complaints, too. Sorry. We almost got out of here without those complaints, and that would have been a big loss. But, like, one point I would like to make is we ended the book on a cliffhanger type situation. And I get it, stories do that, especially if you want somebody to pick the next book up and read it. You end it on like a little bit of a cliffhanger. That way people are compelled to go into the next chapter, the next volume, the next whatever. I would have liked maybe a little more closure to the story. But I guess it just means I got to buy volume 2. So, good job selling me volume 2 before it's even produced. Second, this is the first thing I've bought and the first thing I've read from Tyler. Because a lot of his previous projects were not things I was too like overly interested in. Like Chefs didn't look like something I'd be like down with. But if Tyler's like creating stuff that's got pacing that's this good and is this much fun to read, even if maybe you look at the art and you go, man, this art's not exactly like the best looking art in the world. It looks like artwork being created by, a manga creator kind of early in his career. Like I got like floppy issues of that kind of stuff translated from Japan, made into floppy issues in the 80s and stuff, like over my closet. Like it's fine. That doesn't really bother me. The important thing is the style's consistent and it flows well. And when the action pops up and things look crazy, It really looks crazy, and I like it. All right, the two complaints I got, and I guess we kind of covered part of like some of that when I was like, hey, this isn't in the form of something where the story has a conclusion. That's like probably the big one. But another one is just with the book itself. The paper's great, by the way. It's this really nice matte stock. It feels great on the hands. But the way it's bound, it doesn't. It's not satisfying. I feel like there's stuff I'm losing because it's lost down at the spine there. Like there's no way for me to like look at the both pages and appreciate them as something that's like flat. It's always like being viewed at a curve, with stuff just kind of vanishing down in the middle, and that's kind of a consequence of being perfect bound and gigantic and square. Like this. It's just the way the book's bound, and that was one complaint I definitely did have. It never felt right, even from the very beginning when I opened up the first page and I was looking at it like this. Like this was my view of the book. The first thing I looked at, and I was like, "What is going on in here?" And so I had to do that with the book. You can get away with that kind of stuff when you're looking at a trade paperback of like a novel or something. Like it doesn't matter because they gutter enough. That's probably the wrong word. There's enough space here when you're reading like just words on the page that it doesn't really matter that you're going. Burp. But with artwork, that can be kind of unfortunate. That's one reason why staple bound books work so well is because you can open it just wide and you can get that whole big like flat view of things. That's the one advantage that spiral binding has over most other kind of binding. Spiral binding sucks. It's just the whole lay flat. With a book this thick, you might want to watch your margins on the interiors just a little bit so that stuff maybe doesn't vanish down in that crease so much. There, criticism, constructive feedback, whatever you like to call it. I'm out of here. You all have a great day, great night, great whatever you got going on. Hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye bye.